first started my journey into martial arts, even though the first art I really put time into, or the first discipline I should say, was a pugilistic style, a sport fighting style, or a combat sport. It was Muay Thai under Ajahn Songlit Singthong, who is a legend in the Thai boxing world. I wasn't there to be a sport fighter. I wanted to have a good base for self-defense, and I gotta tell you, Ajahn Song gave me that base. He was a great trainer who emphasized hard work and mastering the basics. Ajahn Song taught me to be stoical through pain, through discomfort, and to be honest, he was the mentor I needed at the time I needed him. He helped me with a lot more than just martial arts. He helped me with life skills. He helped me with understanding that a tough guy can be a gentle soul with a good heart. He was the perfect mentor for me at the time. Back then, my goal was to be a good fighter, someone who would be capable of countering violence with greater force. And Ajahn helped me become probably as good a fighter as I could with my physical size and ability, and he really whipped me into shape as well. However, now as I age, my goal is different. I still want to be a capable fighter, but I'm not training to be a fighter. I'm training to have something in reserve, to just have it there for that one fight, that one situation that I hope I never get into, where I have to fight to protect myself or someone else. This is what I train for. I know that my body cannot stand the abuse that a full contact fight would give me. Now, I know there's some guys my age who can. I mean, the MMA legend from Lethbridge, Alberta, Lee Main, is doing a bare knuckle fight. I admire that so much, but I'm a little broken. I'm not as tough as Lee, so I gotta stay in my lane. And my lane is to have skills in reserve, to keep my body moving through training, and to be mentally, spiritually, and physically prepared that if that fight is brought to me, I can get through it. I can do what I have to do. And then I'll deal with the injuries and the pain afterwards. And I don't ever want to be there, but I like to be prepared. And as I said in my last video, that saying, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, is how I live my life. This is a very, very important philosophy to me. I don't ever want to use my skills against another human being. I don't ever want to use force. I would only want to do it if I'm forced to. And a lot of what I train is for the extreme. And that's because, in my opinion, the world seems to be getting a little more messed up. There seems to be a little more mental illness and other issues plaguing our society. So the chances of someone with a little gray in his beard, or a lot of gray in my beard, walking with a bit of a limp because of back issues, I could easily be picked out as a target in this day and age. So I do what I can to keep my skills up. Also, I think it is very important that every community has people who think like I do, who train like I do, who train to be as good at using force as they can be, and train to use multiple levels of force. By that I mean from the most extreme to the least amount. What is appropriate to the situation. You have to understand use of force models, and you have to be able to Make a decision that suits the situation. This is hard. This is why we train. This is why we visualize. This is why we train to scale our use of force. This is very important that you include this in your training, because if you only train to use one scale of force, especially if you only train to use the most extreme, then you could set yourself up for legal problems after an incident. There's more than just the fight. There's the fight afterwards as well. You may have to fight in court if you are forced to use your violent skills. I put time into this almost every day because as you age, your speed declines, your strength declines, injuries add up, and you will lose some of what you train so hard for. I try to maintain as much as I can. I even try to improve. I don't want to sit back and just let myself deteriorate. As I sweat and train and prepare for that one fight, I'm also fighting another fight. I'm also fighting the fight against aging, the fight against getting weaker, the fight against becoming less and less capable of protecting myself and others. I want to keep as physically capable as I can be far into my later years. I don't want to end up sitting around remembering what I used to be able to do. I want to be able to say, I'm still training, I'm still working, I'm still able to fight if I have to. I want to be one of them old geezers that people go, don't fuck with him, because I cannot stand the idea of sitting around talking about what I used to be able to do. I cannot stand the idea of being an invalid. When it comes time, I know it'll happen and I accept that. But I will not go gently. I will not go without a fight, because while I'm training for a fight that might never happen, I do have a battle that I'm fighting. I do have something that I have to fight for. I have to fight to maintain my skills, my strength, and my mental toughness for as long as I can, for as long as I am able, because I want to walk the rest of my days as a Tier 1 citizen, to borrow a term from legendary combatives instructor Lee Morrison. I want to keep up with my skills until they put me in my pine box and send me to Valhalla. This is something that is important to me. It is the very core of who I am as a person, as a man. It is what I do. And for people like myself and other martial artists and self-defense people who are aging, I encourage you, just keep fighting.